Newts by Ecology Limited. Newts are semi-aquatic amphibians found throughout the world. There are three species of newts in the UK: the common newt, also known as the smooth newt, the palmate newt, and the great crested newt. Common newts are our most abundant newts, widespread across England, parts of Scotland, Wales, and Ireland. Palmate newts are also quite common, particularly in Scotland, Wales, Devon, and Cornwall, while great crested newts are far more rare and localised, although quite widely distributed, particularly in England. Like many other species in Britain, newts declined in the latter part of the 20th century, primarily due to agriculture and transportation. Their need for good quality pond habitat is largely in conflict with modern farming practices, for which ponds are very much redundant, leaving them to be neglected or unfilled. The farming of habitats around ponds, such as ploughing and spraying, also moves the habitat to newts need outside of the water. Whether you have newts on your land is indicated by the habitat you have. Newts breed in ponds during the spring and spend the rest of their year feeding on insects in woodlands, hedgerows, and grasses. They hibernate from February to March underground in damp places such as tree roots and old walls, before returning to their ponds to breed again in the spring. Outside of the breeding season, all three species are nocturnal, and they will shelter during the day in damp environments such as burrows. Newts will travel amongst clusters of ponds, forming meta-populations, which are more resilient than single breeding ponds. They always exist with corridors of suitable habitat between them, which allows the newts to travel. Most adults will stay 250 metres from their breeding pond, but occasionally dispersed and loose colonisers will travel up to 1,000 metres. These colonisers are often juveniles looking for new breeding ponds. Newts have been with corridors that travel as far as 150 metres in one night. All of our newts are protected under the Wildlife and Countryside Act, prohibiting any trade. However, as they are rarer and believed to find elsewhere in Europe, great crested newts have British protection. In England and Wales, they are protected by the Wildlife and Countryside Act, the Countryside and Rights of Way Act, the Natural Environment and Rural Communities Act, and the Conservation of Habitats and Species Regulation, and in Scotland by the Conservation Regulations. This protection means you cannot capture, injure, or kill a newt, disturb them whilst they are using any place for shelter or protection, obstruct access to a breeding site or resting place, disturb them in a way which is likely to significantly affect the local distribution or abundance of the species, or disturb them in a way which is likely to impair their ability to survive, breed, reproduce, or rear their young, or keep, transport, sell, or exchange any newts. You can, however, commit a mercy killing or aid in the care and recovery of great crested newts. They also have a species action plan and associated work program, as well as a handbook to help inform people of their conservation with the aim to maintain, enhance, and restore populations. Activities in their habitat, such as site clearance, topsoil, regrading and drainage work, or construction work, can affect newts. If you're intending on activities such as these, you'll need an ecologist to do a newt survey to support your planning application. There is a requirement for a survey if the distribution or historical record suggests newts may be present, if there is a pond within 500 metres of the development, or if the development includes refuges such as grasslands, scrubs, woodland, or hedgerows. Great crested newts may be present even if the site has been fouled or stripped or has the pond filled in within the last 4 years. If the breeding pond was destroyed several years ago, even if the pond is muddy, heavily shaded, or vegetated, if it contains fish, or if it's temporary. Acceptable survey methods for newts are environmental DNA, known as eDNA, bottom or funnel trapping, egg searching, torch surveying, netting, pitfall traps, and refuge searching. These surveys can be carried out from spring through to summer, and your ecologist can recommend the most suitable survey for your site. Surveyors will be looking for some key information, including the number and size of the newt population, the nature of the habitat and population, such as whether it includes a breeding site, and how significant the site is to the local population and the wider species of great crested newts. There are lists of available ecologists from the Chartered Institute of Ecology and Environmental Management Directory, or from the Environmental Data Services Directory. The ecologists themselves need a suitable license. They will produce a survey report and mitigation plan which will go to your architect or building firm to help support your planning application. If you can't avoid impacting newts with your activities, then you need a license from the relative statutory nature conservation bodies, such as Natural Resource Wales, Scottish Natural Heritage, or Natural England. Your ecologist will stay with you throughout your project to make sure that all of the mitigation requirements are met. Thank you for watching. If you wish to learn more about newt surveys, please follow the links below and visit us at abrahamecology.com.
Created using Powtoon.